Tonight, a Spokane doctor is facing allegations of malpractice by performing extensive spine surgeries on patients for financial gain. We'll talk to a former patient who shares his experience with Dr. Jason Dreyer.
Solid, community-based academic institution.
This Sunday, the Zags will be playing against another Jesuit school in the Sweet 16. We're taking a look at the similarities and differences between Gonzaga and Creighton.
Well, we saw blue sky and sunshine today. Now I'm tracking rain and snow showers. I'll have that and your weekend forecast next.
When I saw the articles, I was very upset and disappointed, but I was not surprised.
That is a former patient of Spokane surgeon Dr. Jason Dreyer. He asked to share his experience with us about Dr. Dreyer after learning that health officials stripped him of his surgical privileges. Good evening and thank you for joining us for Krempton News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here tonight. I'm Whitney Ward. Dr. Jason Dreyer is currently being investigated by the Department of Health for performing excessive surgeries for his own financial gain.
Krempton News' Amanda Rowley shares why his former patient was not surprised by the allegations.
Washington state health officials have stripped Dr. Jason Dreyer of his surgical privileges. The osteopathic surgeon is currently employed at Multicare in Spokane and can still see patients, but he cannot perform surgery until the charges are resolved. Dr. Dreyer is accused of pushing for extensive and unnecessary spine surgeries on patients for financial gain. Charging documents from the Department of Health say Dr. Dreyer overstated the patient's diagnosis of dynamic instability to justify spinal infusion surgeries. He overstated treatments performed during spine surgeries and inadequately charted in patients' records. Documents say these multiple incidents happened between 2014 and 2017 while he was a surgeon at Providence St. Mary Medical Center in Walla Walla. A former patient in Walla Walla filed a lawsuit against him last week that cites medical negligence and malpractice. Cytestis claims Dr. Dreyer negligently caused injury to her spine and spinal nerves and unnecessarily fused her lumbar. The suit also claims Dreyer billed the patient and her medical insurance for procedures that were not actually performed on her spine.
When I saw the articles, I was very upset and disappointed, but I was not surprised.
Aus Alvatar is a senior at Whitworth University. Dr. Dreyer treated him for a weightlifting injury in September after diagnosed with a pinched nerve.
Just can't sit for longer than 10 to 20 minutes before the pain prevents you from sitting down.
Aus wanted to avoid surgery and asked for alternatives like injecting steroids into the back. But he told me Dr. Dreyer pushed for options allowing him to cut, including a discectomy or a fusion.
Knowing the timeline of my school year and when it begins, that was certainly not an option. But I do remember he was very optimistic about that surgery. He was kind of excited talking about it.
Aus agreed to the discectomy to remove the damaged portion of his herniated disc, a surgery less invasive than the fusion. But a week after the surgery, the pain returned and persisted months later.
I feel disappointed and upset that had to happen. So I feel like I didn't even know about the description of what his allegations were. But I mean, that from my story, you can tell that is accurate.
To be clear, we have not been able to include Dr. Dreyer's side of the story. We are still waiting on a response to our request for an interview with him. Meantime, Multicare shared this statement saying it requires all of its physicians to be in good standing with the state to practice medicine at its facilities. Multicare awaits the results of the state's investigation into these allegations. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
We have an update now about a Spokane Valley shooting that left one man with life-threatening injuries.
Major crimes detectives have now charged 32-year-old Robert Hensley with first-degree assault and the unlawful possession of a firearm. He was arrested after reports on Sunday that a man was shot and bleeding from the chest in the parking lot of Walgreens at Pines and Sprague. Now, the suspect's vehicle fled the scene before authorities arrived, but it was stopped just a short time later. Police say a male and female were in that car. Both were questioned. She was not charged and has since been released. released. Hensley is currently behind bars at the Spokane County Jail.
The victim remains hospitalized in serious condition. It turns out this is actually the second time he's been the victim of a shooting. The other time was last December at a home on North Indian Bluff Road. It is unclear if the two shootings are connected. Authorities say in both instances, the victim is not cooperating with investigators. At this time, no one's been arrested in association with the December shooting. Both incidents are currently under investigation, and anyone with information is urged to call Crime Check. All right, let's talk weather now, shall we? Ended up being a pretty sunny day, but it started out kind of cold and foggy, at least up at my place on the South Hill. And we are expecting even more wet weather this week in the mountains. Let's get straight to Tom Sherry in the Outdoor Weather Center. And Tom, do you think this might be an opportunity for more skiing?
Oh, absolutely. And by the time we get into tomorrow, I'm talking about, I hope you enjoy this dry weather and the sunshine that we got today, because tomorrow we're going to start out with wet snow in Spokane, then rain in the afternoon, but that will fall all in the form of snow up in the mountains. So let's enjoy that. More lingering rain showers expected on Thursday. Then I've got mostly sunny skies on your Friday, and then we'll look for partly cloudy skies on Sunday. So as you can see, we've got some pretty nice weather to enjoy. Right now we're at 49 degrees, a pretty nice weather to enjoy after tomorrow's rain and snow. 49 degrees, that's the current temperature. Not much in the wind department, but later tonight and overnight, I think we're going to see wind gusts up to about 25 miles an hour. Doppler radar looking very quiet, as you can see. Here's a look at your day planner forecast. Again, we had mostly clear skies this evening. We'll look for increasing clouds later tonight and overnight, and then a daytime high of 47. Morning wet snow changing over to rain in the afternoon hours for the weekend. Looks like we'll see highs in the upper 50s on Saturday under mostly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy skies expected on Sunday with a slight chance of showers and a daytime high of 60. I'll check the rest of your 7-day forecast, all coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Tom, thank you so much. This is our team, our town, and our time. The Zags just keep on dancing in the NCAA tournament. The Gonzaga men will play in the Sweet 16 against Creighton on Sunday at 11:20 a.m. It is the 6th straight season they've made it to the Sweet 16. And again, you can watch the game live on KREM 2 this Sunday at 11:20 a.m. And also some more exciting news is that our own Mark Hanrahan will be traveling to Indianapolis this week with sports director Brenna Green to capture all the fun and the action for us. So Mark, I know for the past 2 decades, Gonzaga has been an elite college basketball team, no doubt about it. But it's kind of easy for the rest of us to take for granted just how good they've been and still are.
Yeah, we are so used to seeing Gonzaga make the tournament, it's almost become routine, right? We expect them to do well. But when you stop and really look back at everything this program has done in the last 2 decades, it's remarkable. Before the blue chip recruits, before consecutive conference titles, deep tournament runs, and long before anybody could pronounce the school's name correctly,
Gonzaga,
there was the scrappy team from Spokane who put the Bulldogs on the college basketball map. The 98-99 season, Gonzaga made the NCAA tournament. In their first game, the 10th-seeded Bulldogs upset Minnesota and then 2-seed Stanford. And who could forget this tip-in by Casey Calvary with just 4 ticks left on the clock to propel the team past Florida and for the first time in program history, all the way to the Elite Eight. The Bulldogs then nearly beat the eventual national champions that year, UConn, losing by just 5 points.
I'm going to be here a long, long time.
The following season, Mark Few took the helm as head coach, and the team hasn't looked back. The Bulldogs have returned to the NCAA tournament every year since. Listen to these stats. They've made the tournament 23 times. They've advanced to the round of 32 19 times. 11 times they've gone to the Sweet 16, and they've made it to the Elite Eight 4 times, hoping to make it 5 on Sunday. The squad made it to the Final Four once in 2017, the same year they went all the way to the championship game where they lost a heartbreaker to North Carolina. The players on those teams have become household names across the Inland Northwest and beyond. Names like Richie Fromm, Matt Santangelo, Roni Turioff, Dan Dickow, Adam Morrison, Kelly Olynyk, and Kyle Wiltshire. Rui Hachimura, Nigel Williams-Goss, and Domantas Sabonis. Now it's Kispert, Suggs, and Timmy. The list of things this program hasn't accomplished is growing shorter. 22 years after their improbable run to the Elite Eight, Gonzaga is hoping to bring home the one thing that has so far eluded them, a national title. So I will leave you with one final stat. Under head coach Mark Few, the Bulldogs have an overall record of 625 wins to 124 losses. Translation, he wins 83% of the time. That's pretty darn good.
Yes, yes it is. Mark, thank you so much.